You know that feeling, right? Balancing a stack of textbooks, trying to remember if you RSVP'd to that thing, and then that little voice in the back of your head whispering about, well, how much everything costs in college.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking tuition that can feel like a down payment on a house, easily 10, 20, even $40,000 a year.
And that's just the start.
Exactly. And that's before the rent, the ramen, the occasional, oh, okay, maybe not so occasional late night pizza run.
Yeah.
That can pile up, maybe over $15,000 in a lot of cities. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a constant juggle.
It really is. And the old standby, a part-time job, it helps, sure, but it doesn't always cut it, does it?
No.
Those rigid schedules can really clash with, like, unpredictable study demands.
Yeah.
And the pay per hour might feel like you're just treading water.
Yeah, it can be frustrating, like your time isn't really giving you the return you need.
Totally.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we've been digging into some, let's say, less conventional ways and potentially much more rewarding ways for college students to boost their bank accounts. We're not just talking about making enough for coffee here. We're exploring paths that could lead to some, well, serious income. We looked at a bunch of sources to find 5 methods that seem, generally within reach.
Accessible.
Accessible, yeah, and offer room to grow and really align with the skills and resources a lot of students already have.
And to really get a sense of the scale of the challenge here, just think about this. The College Board's figures for the next academic year. Average tuition and fees are around $11,260 for in-state public unis.
Okay.
Nearly triples to over $29,000 for out-of-state.
Wow.
And private schools, hitting over $41,500.
Oof.
And then you've got maybe $1,200 a year just for textbooks, according to the National Association of College Stores.
Right.
You put those numbers next to typical financial aid, well, there's often a big gap.
A huge gap.
Yeah, it forces this need for, like, resourceful income generation that actually respects a student's limited time.
Okay, let's unpack this. That kind of financial pressure, it can feel overwhelming. It really highlights why students need to think outside the box, find ways to earn that offer a better, bang for their time buck.
Better return on time.
Yeah, than, say, folding endless piles of laundry, right? So our mission today is to explore these 5 distinct and, we hope, pretty inspiring money-making avenues. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's start with something that might seem almost, well, too simple.
Yeah.
But can actually be a surprisingly easy entry point.
Yeah.
Online surveys and market research.
Right. Now, a lot of people have probably seen those ads, quick cash for surveys. How does it actually work? And are they legit?
Well, essentially, companies want consumer opinions, right?
Yeah.
To guide their products, their marketing, everything.
Okay.
So they partner with online platforms. You've probably heard names like Swagbucks, Survey Junkie, maybe Inbox Dollar.
Guessing so.
They use these platforms to gather insights. You sign up, and they give you surveys on all sorts of things: shopping habits, brand preferences, what you watch. Takes maybe 5 to 20 minutes to complete one, and you earn rewards. Cash, gift cards, points you can convert. That's the basic idea.
Okay. I can see the appeal, especially for a student with, like, a few spare minutes between classes. Doesn't exactly require deep concentration, does it?
Not at all.
And you can do it anywhere, pretty much.
Precisely. The skill level is minimal. All you need is a phone or laptop and internet, waiting for the library, on the bus, just chilling in your dorm. It's low commitment. No upfront cost either.
So let's talk bottom line. Is this going to be a financial game changer, like pay your tuition kind of money?
Realistically, probably not. It's unlikely to cover major expenses like tuition.
Okay.
The payout per survey is usually like 50 cents to maybe $5.
Yeah.
Occasionally you might find one for $10 or $20, but that's rarer.
Right.
If you're consistent, maybe put in, say, 5 to 10 hours a week across a few different good platforms you could maybe expect. $50 to $200 a month, something in that ballpark. It's more about tackling those smaller costs, coffee, maybe streaming services, a meal out.
So the upsides are definitely the flexibility, easy entry, quick start. What about the downsides, potential pitfalls?
Well, the main one is definitely the low earning potential for the time you put in.
Right.
It can also get pretty repetitive, kind of monotonous,
I can imagine.
and the reward might not always feel, well, worth the effort. Also, a lot of platforms have payout thresholds. You need to earn a certain amount before you cash out.
Ah, okay.
And like anything online, you got to watch out for scams.
Yeah.
Sticking with the well-known, well-reviewed platforms is really key.
That's important advice. So if someone wants to try this, what are some tips to maximize earnings and, stay safe?
Definitely sign up for multiple reputable sites. We mentioned Swagbucks, Survey Junkie. Pinecone Research sometimes has higher paying ones too.
Okay.
And make sure you properly fill out your profile surveys. That helps them match you with relevant surveys, which often pay a bit more.
Got it.
Try to build a routine maybe. Set aside specific times each week, even if it's just short blocks. Before you sign up anywhere, just take a minute, check its reputation on Trustpilot or similar sites. Oh, and use a separate email address, just for surveys. Keeps your main inbox clean.
Good tip. Makes sense. Do we have an example, like how this might fit into a student's life?
We do. Think about Sarah, a sophomore biology major. Freshman year, she tried Swagbucks, spent maybe an hour a day doing surveys, watching some of their short videos too.
Okay.
She consistently earned between, say, $75 and $100 a month. Not huge, like we said, but it covered her Netflix, Spotify, and let her grab dinner out with friends sometimes without stressing her main budget.
Okay, so maybe not instant riches, but definitely a way to offset some of those smaller recurring costs. Useful. Let's move on then. Method 2 sounds like something almost every student could do. Selling unwanted items.
Exactly. Just think about all the stuff that accumulates in a dorm room or student apartment, right?
Oh yeah. Too much stuff.
Clothes you don't wear, old electronics, textbooks from last semester, even that weird lamp you bought first year. Selling it can actually bring in a surprising amount of cash. Platforms like eBay, Craigslist, Poshmark for clothes, Facebook Marketplace, they reach tons of people. And for tech or textbooks, apps like Declutter can streamline selling them in bulk.
What makes this particularly good for students, given their situation?
Well, for starters, the ongoing time commitment is usually pretty low. Once you list something, it's mainly just answering questions and sorting out shipping or meeting up.
Right.
It's often a kind of one-time burst of effort for a fairly quick financial reward. That can be really helpful if you need cash fast without committing to regular hours.
Yeah, I see that.
Plus, it's sustainable, right? Giving items a second life instead of just tossing them.
True. And what kind of money are we talking? It probably varies a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. Depends what you're selling. Use textbooks. Maybe $10 to $50.
Okay. Oh.
But decent clothes, especially designer stuff for electronics, could be $50 to $200, maybe more. If a student does a big clear out, like after a semester, or just a major declutter,
Yeah.
they could potentially make a few hundred, maybe even over $1,000 pretty quickly.
Wow.
And the smart thing is, you can even scale this up a bit, like scouting thrift stores or garage sales for things you think you can flip for a profit.
Okay, so the benefits. Quick cash, flexible timing for listing, decluttering bonus. What are the downsides we should mention?
Oh, well, one obvious limit is you're limited by what you actually have to sell, initially at least.
Right.
Also, while the ongoing effort is low, that initial part, taking good photos, writing descriptions, packing, and shipping it, can be pretty time-consuming.
Yeah, the listing part. Yeah.
And if you sell locally, meeting buyers,
Yeah,
you need to think about safety.
definitely.
And don't forget platform fees. eBay, Poshmark, they take a cut, usually 10–15%, sometimes more, which eats into your profit.
Good points. So for a student wanting to sell their old stuff, what are some best practices?
First off, photos. Take good ones. Good lighting, clear shots. Visuals are key online. Write detailed, honest descriptions. More info means more buyer confidence. And research prices. Check eBay's sold listings to see what similar things actually went for. Not just what people are asking.
Sure.
Maybe bundle items. Like sell a few related textbooks together. Makes it more attractive. Potentially saves on shipping. And if you do local meetups, always prioritize safety. Public places, well-lit, maybe near campus security.
Absolutely.
And stick to platforms with buyer-seller protection, like PayPal or Poshmark. Helps avoid scams.
Good advice. Do we have a story for this one? How it worked out?
We do. Jake, engineering junior, downsizing before moving. Sold old video games, sports gear he didn't use, stack of freshman textbooks, used eBay, Facebook Marketplace, made around $450 in just a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And that kind of sparked an idea. He started hitting local thrift stores, looking for vintage clothes he could resell, turned into a regular side hustle, making him about $200 a month extra, took maybe 5–7 hours a week.
That's great. Turning a clear out into a consistent income. All right, let's shift gears. Method 3 taps into a different asset. Tutoring services.
Yes, this is a fantastic option if you're strong in certain subjects. Or have skills like music or coding.
Right.
If you really get math, English, a language, programming, even an instrument, you can help peers, high school kids, younger students, Platforms like TutorMe, Chegg Tutors, Waze connect tutors and students. Or you can go old school campus notice boards, social media posts.
Yeah.
Sessions can be in person or online via Zoom, whatever works.
What makes this such a good fit for college students specifically?
Well, it directly uses the knowledge they're already gaining, right? So it's natural if you're doing well academically.
Sure.
It's also super flexible. You set your own hours around classes and studying. Plus, honestly, it feels good helping someone else finally get a tough concept.
Yeah, rewarding.
Totally. And it looks great on a resume. Shows communication, skills, leadership.
Definitely. And what about the money? What can a student realistically expect as a tutor?
The hourly rates can be pretty good here. Typically maybe $15 to $50 an hour. Depends on the subject, your experience, the platform.
Okay.
For really specialized stuff, advanced math, computer science, SAT prep,
Yeah.
you could potentially ask for $50, maybe even up to $100 an hour
Yeah.
in some cases.
Wow, seriously.
Yeah. So if a student puts in, just say, 5 to 10 hours a week, they could potentially be earning anywhere from $300 to maybe even $2,000 a month. It's definitely one of the more lucrative options we're looking at.
That is a substantial income boost. So, pros? Good hourly rates, flexible schedule. What are the challenges?
Well, you really need to know your stuff.
Yeah.
Solid understanding, and you need to be able to explain it clearly.
Right. Can't fake it.
Exactly. There can also be some prep time involved, preparing lessons or finding practice materials. Demand can fluctuate, too busy around exams, quieter during breaks. And if you go independent, skipping the platforms, you have to build your own client base. That takes effort.
Makes sense. What are some effective strategies, then, for succeeding as a tutor?
Start by figuring out your strongest subjects. Where do you really excel? Then target students needing help there.
Okay.
Maybe start with established platforms like Chegg or TutorMe. They have a built-in network of students looking for help.
Right. Easier start.
Yeah. Then, as you get experience, maybe some good reviews, you could go independent. You usually get to keep more of the money then. Offering group sessions can be efficient. Earn more per hour that way. Definitely ask happy students for testimonials or recommendations. Builds credibility.
Good idea.
Use free resources. Google Docs, Khan Academy, lots of stuff out there to help with lessons. And don't forget basic campus advertising flyers, student groups, maybe even ask professors if they know anyone needing help.
Got it. And a real-world example for tutoring.
Yep. Maria, senior, studying education. Started tutoring high school algebra on TutorMe, charged $25 an hour, worked about 8 hours a week, made around $800 a month.
Okay, decent.
Then she put up flyers in her university's math department, got some college clients at $35 an hour. That boosted her income to about $1,200 a month.
Nice step up.
Yeah, and for her, it wasn't just the money. It reinforced her love for teaching, gave her practical experience for her career.
That's fantastic. Really connects the dots. Okay, let's move to method 4. This one has that magic phrase, passive income, creating and selling digital products.
Yes. This is where your creativity or existing knowledge can really turn into a potential revenue stream that works even when you're not actively working.
Intriguing.
Think about creating things like ebooks, maybe online mini courses on topics you know well, printable planners, worksheets, stock photos if you're into photography, even graphic design templates.
Okay.
Then you sell these digital files on platforms like Etsy, Gumroad, Creative Market, Udemy, or Teachable for courses. Lots of options depending on what you make.
What's the big appeal here for a busy student?
It's that create once, sell repeatedly idea.
Yeah.
You put in the work up front to make something good, and then it can potentially keep generating income over time with much less ongoing effort. It lets you leverage skills you might already have, writing, design, photography, your major subject knowledge.
Right.
And it can scale. You're not constantly trading hours for dollars in the same way.
Okay, so what's the earning potential? Feels like this could be all over the place.
It absolutely is. Huge variation. Depends on the product, quality, value, and crucially, your marketing. A single ebook or printable might sell for, say, $5 to $50. A more involved online course could be $50 up to $500, maybe even more.
Okay.
With good marketing, you could potentially earn, well, maybe a few $100s a month, maybe up to several thousand. But big caveat, building that level often takes real time and consistent effort. It's not usually instant.
Right. Passive doesn't mean zero effort initially.
Exactly. For things like stock photos or templates, the income per sale might be smaller,
Yeah.
but it can add up if they sell repeatedly.
Okay, so passive potential is the huge plus. What are the challenges?
That initial time investment can be significant. Creating something valuable and polished takes work. You also need some marketing skills. You have to get eyes on your product in a crowded online space. Income can be really unpredictable at first, while you build an audience.
Right.
And depending what you create, you might need some basic design or tech skills. Using tools like Canva, maybe Adobe software.
Gotcha. So for a student thinking about creating digital products, what are some key tips?
Start by finding a specific niche. What are you good at? What needs do you see around you, maybe among other students?
Yeah.
Like if you aced a tough class, could you make an awesome study guide?
Okay, good angle.
Use free or cheap tools first. Canva's great for design, Notion for organizing. Keep initial costs low. Research trends. See what's selling well on Etsy or Gumroad in your potential niche. Don't ignore social media. Instagram, Pinterest are great for showing off visual products, maybe TikTok too. Think about offering bundles or discounts to get those first sales.
Yeah, build momentum.
Exactly. And maybe reinvest some early profits back into marketing or better tools to help you grow.
Makes sense. Do we have an example here? Student success story.
We do. Liam, graphic design major. Started making resume templates, printable student planners, used Canva, sold them on Etsy for like $7 to $15 each.
Okay.
He consistently posted about them on Instagram and Pinterest. His stuff started getting noticed, made $500 in his first month.
Wow, first month. That's impressive.
Yeah. Then he branched out, started making custom Instagram templates for small businesses. By his second semester, he was pulling in around $2,000 a month. Spent about 10 hours a week creating and marketing.
That's a fantastic example of really leveraging a specific skill. Awesome. Okay, let's hit our fifth and final method, delivery and errand services. This one feels pretty straightforward.
It is, mostly. Platforms like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates for food, groceries. Then TaskRabbit for a wider range of errands. Think furniture assembly, shopping help, moving boxes.
Right.
They connect people needing help with people willing to do the task. You sign up, pick the gigs that fit your schedule, get paid per task, plus tips usually. Money often hits your bank account pretty quickly.
What makes this so appealing for students with those crazy schedules?
The flexibility. It's kind of the ultimate flexibility, really.
Yeah.
You work when you want, got an hour free, maybe grab a delivery, free evening, do a few hours, weekends, go for it. It's also pretty accessible. Often just need a bike, a car. Sometimes you can even do it walking in dense areas. And the pay is often quick, which is great for unexpected costs.
And the earning potential, what can students expect here?
For delivery drivers, it's usually around $10 to $25 an hour, including tips. Big range, depends on location, time of day, the platform.
Okay.
TaskRabbit gigs, especially ones needing a bit more skill, can pay higher. Maybe $30 to $70 an hour for things like putting furniture together.
Right.
So working maybe 10, 15 hours a week, you could potentially earn somewhere between $400 and $1,500 a month, especially if you're in a busy urban area where demand is high.
Okay, high flexibility, quick payouts. Sounds good. What are the drawbacks or things to consider?
Well, if you use your car, you've got fuel costs, maintenance, insurance.
Oh.
You have to factor that in.
True. Vehicle costs.
Some roles, especially delivery, can be physically demanding. Weather can be a factor too. Rain, snow, there's wear and tear on your vehicle or bike. And income can fluctuate. Depends on demand. How many other drivers or taskers are out there?
Right. Variable income.
Yeah.
What are some good tips then for maximizing earnings and staying safe?
Try to work peak hours, lunch, dinner rushes, weekends. That's when demand and often pay or tips are higher.
Makes sense.
Figure out which platforms are busiest in your area. Might be DoorDash, might be Uber Eats, could be different somewhere else.
Okay.
If you use your car, track your mileage and other expenses. You might get tax deductions. Seriously, track it.
Good practical tip.
Focus on good customer service. Being prompt, polite, careful with orders often leads to better tips. If you're in a city center, maybe use a bike or walk for some deliveries. Saves gas, avoids parking hassles.
Sure.
And crucially, safety first. Avoid sketchy areas. Trust your gut. Follow the platform's safety guidelines.
Absolutely. The final real-world example for this one.
We have Aisha, a sophomore near a big campus, started doing Uber Eats on her bike. Worked about 12 hours a week, mostly evenings and weekends.
Okay.
Averaged around $18 an hour with tips, so about $850 a month.
Pretty solid.
Then she added TaskRabbit, did occasional furniture assembly jobs for around $40 an hour. That pushed her total monthly income up to about $1,200. Covered her rent and groceries comfortably.
Nice combination. So we've covered 5 very different ways students can potentially earn significant money. Maybe it's helpful now to step back and compare them side by side.
Absolutely. Let's do a quick rundown. Thinking about potential monthly earnings, time commitment, flexibility, skills needed, and scalability.
Okay.
Online surveys. Earnings $5,200 a month, Low time, maybe 5-10 analyze K. High flexibility, no real skills needed. Low scalability.
Got it.
Selling unwanted items.
Oh,
Maybe $200,000 initially, less ongoing, low ongoing time, high flexibility.
yeah.
Basic sales photo skills.
Mm.
Medium scalability, depends on finding more stuff.
Yep.
Tutoring, $302,000 a month potential. Medium time, 515 H1K. High flexibility, needs subject expertise. High scalability, more students, higher rates.
Right. Yeah.
Digital products. $100, maybe up to $5,000 plus month eventually. High initial time, lower ongoing. High flexibility, needs creative tech skills. High scalability, global reach. Delivery errands, $400 to $1,500 a month. Medium time, 10-15 H-Wink. High flexibility, usually no advanced skills, just transport maybe. Medium scalability depends on local demand.
That's a really helpful summary. So thinking about different student needs,
Yeah.
which methods fit best?
Okay, so if you need cash, like right now,
Yeah.
selling unwanted items is probably fastest.
Great. Quick win.
Aiming for the highest potential earnings. Tutoring and digital products stand out, but need more upfront work or skills. If flexibility is absolutely number one, surveys and delivery errands are top picks. Work whenever. Want that passive income dream? Digital products are the main route there.
Makes sense.
And if you're looking for something with a really low barrier to entry, minimal skills needed. Surveys and delivery errands are easiest to start,
Gotcha.
but really the best method. It truly depends on your goals, your skills, your interest, and how much time you actually have.
Yeah.
There's no single right answer for everyone.
Now, we should be real. None of these are completely challenge-free, right? What are some common hurdles students might hit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Time management is huge. Balancing any of this with classes, studying, social life, it's tricky. Staying motivated can be tough too, especially if the money doesn't roll in immediately.
Right.
You've got to be careful about scams and safety. Online platforms, meeting people. Need to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Taxes, if you start earning decent money, you might need to figure that out. It can be confusing.
Sure.
And just burnout. Trying to do too much, finding a pace you can sustain is crucial.
So what are some quick tips for navigating those obstacles?
Time management. Try time blocking. Schedule specific hours for your side hustle, just like a class. Stick to it.
Okay.
Motivation. Set small, achievable goals, like earn $6 this week, reward yourself when you hit them. Keep track of progress, scams, and safety. Research platforms thoroughly. Use secure payments. Meet in safe, public places for local stuff. Trust your instincts.
Right.
Taxes. Keep records of income and expenses from the start. Look for free resources like VI programs for students.
Call.
Burnout. Start small. Don't try to do everything at once. Ramp up slowly, only if it feels manageable and doesn't wreck your studies or well-being.
It's also worth pointing out, isn't it, that earning money this way isn't just about the cash. You're building skills, too.
Absolutely. Huge point. Doing this stuff helps you develop really valuable skills, builds confidence, fosters that financial independence mindset.
Yeah, how so?
Well, think about it. Surveys. Teaches discipline. Attention to detail, maybe. Selling stuff. You learn marketing, negotiation, tutoring, communication, leadership, explaining complex things simply. Digital products. Creativity, entrepreneurship, maybe digital marketing.
Yeah.
Delivery. Time management, customer service under pressure.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
These things look great on a resume too. Show initiative, problem solving, and maybe the biggest thing, earning your own money can seriously cut down on student loan debt.
Which is massive.
Exactly. Even earning, say, $500 to $1,000 a month can make a huge difference covering rent, books, building an emergency fund. It builds a stronger financial base.
We've heard some great stories already, but maybe a couple more quick examples just to inspire people.
Sure. There's Emma, psych major, made printable academic planners, sold them on Etsy, earned $3,000 her freshman year, covered her books and a chunk of her fees.
Amazing.
Then Carlos, computer science student, tutored coding online to high schoolers, competitive rate, made about $2,500 a month, graduated debt-free.
Debt-free, that's the dream.
Right. And Sophia did DoorDash part-time on weekends, consistently made around $1,000 a month, used it to completely fund her study abroad semester in Spain.
Wow.
These stories just show, with some initiative, planning, and just sticking with it, students really can hit significant financial goals using these kinds of methods.
They really are motivating. So for a listener who's feeling inspired now, wants to get started, what are some concrete first steps?
Okay, first step, self-assessment. Honestly, look at your skills, your interests. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? And how much time can you realistically commit each week? Be honest.
Right. Step one, know thyself.
Exactly. Step two, Research. Look into the platforms we mentioned or others. Read reviews, check their reputation, make sure they're legit. Step 3, create accounts. Do it professionally. Complete profiles properly, maybe use that separate email address we talked about.
Yeah.
Make things look good, especially for tutoring or selling products.
Okay.
Step 4, start small. Don't feel you have to jump in 20 hours a week. Try just 2 or 3 hours. Test the waters. See if it fits.
Good advice. Don't overcommit.
Right. Step 5, market yourself. Don't be shy. Use social media, campus networks. Tell friends. Let people know what you offer. Step 6, track your progress. Keep records, earnings, time spent, expenses. See what's working, what's not. Adjust as needed.
Crucial.
And finally, step 7, scale up. If and when you're ready. If it's working, maybe increase hours. Try another method. Invest in better tools. But only when it makes sense for you.
That's a really clear, actionable roadmap. It definitely sounds like earning significant money in college, it is achievable. With the right approach, the right mindset.
Absolutely. These 5 methods, they offer a whole range of flexible paths, something for almost any schedule, skill set, or financial goal. Whether you just want a bit extra or need to build a more substantial income, there are real opportunities out there.
So our key takeaway for you listening is really think about your own situation. Start where you are. What skills do you have? What time can you commit? Which of these methods feels like the best fit for you right now? And just remember, every single step you take towards earning your own income, it's a step towards better financial well-being. And you're building those incredibly valuable life skills that will serve you long, long after graduation.
Yeah. So as you're thinking about all this, what's one small thing, one concrete action you could take today? Maybe just research one platform, or think about one skill you have that you could maybe leverage, or identify one unwanted item you could list online tonight. Just taking that first small step, that's often the most important part.
Totally agree.
And those skills, you'll pick up the discipline, the resourcefulness, that entrepreneurial spark. Those are going to be incredibly valuable no matter what you do after college. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.